Hey, before this video gets started, I'd like to ask you to do me a favor. If you find yourself watching this video, and obviously you have because you can hear this, if you decide for whatever reason to nope out of this video before it finishes, and I mean like well before it finishes, like before the halfway mark or at any point, like you decide like to leave before it's done, do me this favor and leave a comment down below explaining exactly why you're leaving. If it's my voice, if it's the audio, like the audio quality, if it's the co-host voice, if the video is just boring, doesn't matter what it is. Like even if it's like, well, I suddenly had to poop and I had to leave. Like doesn't matter what it is, just tell me what it is down below because I'm trying to boost audience retention. And I feel the only way to really do that is by having the audience tell me what's making them lose retention. So enjoy the show. YouTube is 100% not going to push these videos because we keep talking about, we're talking about race and we're talking about politics. I am pro happiness. If you want to be trans, be trans. If you are trans, be trans. If you are gay, be gay. The only thing I don't stand for is is threat'll kill you. I don't like that shit. What rhymes with threat'll kill you? Y'all should be able to figure that out. Can y'all figure that out? What rhymes with threat will kill you? Given what I just said before that. Like, I hope y'all can piece that together. Like, I don't know, because like I'm not a big YouTuber. So by all means, like YouTube ain't like, it's okay, we'll let him pay. Like, no, I'm a small black YouTuber, which I'm quite literally the opposite of a small black YouTuber. But, well, not the literal opposite, but you get what I'm saying. I'm a fat boy. But yeah, I don't know what YouTube will let me get away with, and like I feel like we've done a lot already. Sometimes mashing buttons is fun, but mashing buttons and hearing fucking like the things go bleepity bloppity bloopity bloop. I think we've gotten every pixel toad thus far.
I do believe that's the case.
I think there's two stages we haven't gotten everything on. No, just the one. Okay, cool. What rhymes? Yeah. So like, the motherfucker who's been in 30 of my videos is a white guy.
Yeah.
And yes, I call him white boy sometimes. And like, I don't know how many people really like. It's a reference to a movie that I really like. Specifically, a reference to a movie me and my mom really like. It's called The Hateful Eight. And in that movie, because explaining the reference makes it funnier, there's a scene in the movie where Samuel L. Jackson tells Walton Goggins has been shot. And he is, oh God, I was being chased by Cheap Cheap. And like basically he's been shot, he runs out of like blood and he like falls on the ground. And Samuel L. Jackson's on the verge of getting shot and murdered. So he's trying to tell Walton to get up. Chris Mannix. He's trying to tell Chris Mannix to get up. And that's where that phrase like, God damn it, white boy, get up! You ain't dead yet. Like, that's why I call it that. It's the only reason I call it that. That's just funny as fuck to me. But like, I don't like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, well, all white people are nice and good. Oh, fuck y'all ain't.
No.
Like a good grip of y'all suck. Not all, but enough of y'all suck to the point that it's like, the idea of like, you know, Trumpet getting back in the office and like, it's scary. Like it is. Like it was when the fucking we need to have a conversation about okay. I was like, how the fuck do I get back up there? When the insurrection happened, that shit was terrifying to me. As a black person, I was like, if the white folks then got to the point where they like, fuck the government,
we ain't got a chance. That shit was scary as fuck. But I will say, like,
I will say, like, even if we do win, I'm really, really.
oh no, it's gonna be not. It's gonna be not good. Like, because here's what I think is gonna happen. Now, follow me on this. Like, Jordan said that like it might be like it's important to remember that like regardless of what he wants to have happen, like, oh fuck, okay, I didn't find the hidden mushroom. He said regardless of what Trump wants to have happen, there are still checks and balances in place. But the problem is he's aware that he can fire people. Like, he's aware.
Because he's done it before.
Yeah, he will just fire you if you don't agree with what he wants. Like, well, then you don't need to be here then.
Like, I would even say you have to kiss his ass. You have to full on eat shit. You have to.
Like, you have to
completely.
Like, this is the same cat who clowned somebody's wife in front of people and was just like, yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Like, the same dude who talked about how big Arnold Palmer's dick was. Like,
it doesn't feel real. It really doesn't sometimes.
No, it doesn't. It feels, I want to say, not awkward. Awkward would be like a very generic way to describe it. It feels as though, oh, I do have to do this. Look on you, bitch ass. Come on, Toad, where are you, brother? Gotcha. Like, the whole thing just seems like, so yeah, like it's possible that he just won't be able to just get rid of the people that he wants and then just make them give him the ability to do whatever he wants. Because like the whole give the police like you know, just what if they just had one violent night, all the crime. First off, the phrase "all the crime would go away" is such a generic ass thing. Like, it really is. Like first off, I really hope that people understand that like blacks, Hispanics, like all of us, a good chunk of us really do have white allies. And some of those white allies are looking for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? And like I think that like a lot of these white people, like they think that we'd be on our own. And it would be easy. We could just blah blah blah. We could just take them over. And I was like, well, if that's the case, what's stopping you now? Well, I don't want to go to jail. Really? You ain't got no problem murdering up some black folks, but jail is what fucking, you're like, well, that's the stopper. I don't want to have to, you know, be in prison. Why? Like, you killed a bunch of black folks. Wouldn't the Aryan nation fucking have your back? Okay, so you know, I'm looking for this. I'm looking for the golden mushroom.
Find the gold mushroom underneath it. Pull up the bigger of two wooden platforms in the water, and you'll find the golden mushroom underneath it. You have to pull it out of the sand, though.
Yeah. I got it. Why the fuck would I? Okay. Like, a lot of this really is like just like we're quite literally just why did you do that? Wrong thing. Like, it's literally we're just extending the gameplay. Like, effectively, once you get all 3 stars and like the 3 gems in the star, the stage is over. So like, yeah, just walk around a bit, look for pixel toads, look for like, yeah. And I was like, oh, which I understand. Otherwise, the game would be incredibly short and probably not very fun. Like, you'd end up having to like come up with like 1,000 puzzles. Well, either way, But I will say, like, to anybody who's a Trump supporter, you're not watching this. But if you're watching this and you know people who are Trump, and like, I want you to know, and this is from the bottom of the heart of a black man in America, they were, based on when this episode comes out, they were voting for hatred. Like, that's it. Oh God. Ah. I thought it was gonna launch me. I was kind of looking forward.
How many days do we have left until we?
Like less than 2 weeks.
Yeah. $10 days. Which it probably won't be decided, but that's when it starts.
Did y'all get to vote early?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Missouri, there is no excuse. Like, we have like this thing called like the no excuse clause or whatever. So effectively, it's like, oh, I'll be out of town, or I'll be here, or I'll be there, or whatever the case is. Like, nah, like you could have like voted, because Jordan was saying he wanted to vote early, and like I didn't know what it took, because like I think like me, I think it was like, well, you know, we gotta. For me, I can vote early because like I'm not gonna be able to get out to the polls. But like, nah, like America has like the no excuse clause.
Yeah.
Well, not America. I'm sorry. Like Missouri has the no excuse clause, so you get your ass out there and you fucking vote. Like if you need a mail-in ballot, you get that shit. Well, the mail-in ballots are you know, they're easy to like, there's so much fraud. Is that what it is?
Sometimes when I'm talking about this, by the way, because like I'm in the living room while I'm doing this, are like the door across from us. Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before. They have two, and mind you, we're not near the road. This is literally just in front of their house, in the middle of like 2 rows of houses. They have 2 Trump flags.
Because one wasn't enough.
Because it's only for people who live here.
So y'all live in like a complex?
Sort of, yeah. I don't know how to describe it. There's just like 2 rows of houses. Another weird thing about the way these apartments are laid out, we are on the 1st floor and the 2nd floor at the same time.
What the how? Do you have stairs?
No, because we live on a hill. So the part that where we like park and everything, like we are on ground level, but there is an apartment underneath us. Because the hill goes down.
Mm.
It's weird. But yeah, when we go through town and we see the disproportion, like the just the overwhelming amount
of Trump support.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dog Fart, I don't know what her name is. So they named the fucking porn company Dog Fart. Oh my gosh. So she's pro Kamala as well. She's a woman. Like, and she's a millennial girl. Like, why the fuck wouldn't she be? Which is a really good question. But plenty of her aren't. Women like her aren't, Mark. So I'm asking stupid questions. But she's pro, at the very least, even if she wasn't pro-black or pro-Kamala, I'd imagine she's still pro-making my own goddamn choice.
Yeah.
Which I don't like that, because like if you're gonna vote for yourself, why not vote like that? Why not like, no, I don't like, Kamala has some things that I don't love, but I am over here trying to, oh, well, there it is. But it doesn't matter, I can't keep it. But I did have to do that. Okay, cool.
See, here's the thing: is like I've always been like anti-government and everything, like pro-anarchy, blah blah blah.
Not anymore.
I recognize that even I can still hold that value and understand that like this isn't the time. I need to set it aside. I need to accept like this is the best case scenario right now. We can fight later when we don't have to worry about our lives.
I will say that I've never been like anti-government, only because I'm aware that the government is a revolving door of sorts Like,
Yeah.
good things have happened for me and people like me because of the people we voted into power. But also at the same time, Trump.
Yeah. I mean, it's a revolving door, and like there's a bunch of moving parts.
I
And
guess
it's
the
hard
phrase
to make...
the phrase I should have used was double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Like, cause as quickly as it can like be good, it can be just as bad. Like everybody says, we ought to get rid of the electoral college. The electoral college is the same process we use to get all the good presidents we've ever gotten. Like the situation really comes down to the shit gotta get bad before like stupid people stop making bad decisions. And like you told me once before, white people have a bad tendency to not realize danger until they're already being hurt.
Yep.
And I feel like that's what happened in 2020. That's why like he didn't get reelected. He did such a shit job. I think a lot of people really thought like, oh, well, there's no way he's gonna actually like win. And then he fucking won in 2020 and 2016. Like he fucking won. Like, but like shit's different now. Onward, Captain Toad. Pop up Prairie Town. But yeah, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. I'm probably voting Democrat all the way down the sleeve. But I want y'all to know, I ain't voting for fucking Josh Hawley. Not at all. That dude can eat a fat sack of dog shit.
And again, a really important thing is like try to research your local people too. Like try to see what they're for. Because I've actually been doing that. Like some of the candidates who are trying to run for mayor here, like and so on and so forth, literally don't have anything on their pages about like what they're for. Just like their independence.
Vote for me. What? Vote for me.
Like
Why?
what do you stand for? What are your...
Vote for me.
Just vote for me. I'm not that other person.
Yeah, like...
So we were at the farmer's market and one of the candidates did the whole like, I'm a man of the people sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And his last name is Graham, and he's giving out fucking graham crackers to people. It was
All
cute.
right,
But...
fine, whatever. Like, I don't love it, but I realize that it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, at least he had a sense of humor about it.
How in the fuck do I get out of here? Because I can't go around there.
So at this point, the only thing I can do, because like I'm not super familiar with the people here, I just look for the houses that have Kamala Harris signs and whatever candidate they have outside. I'm like, those are probably the good ones.
Yeah, like I've been doing the exact opposite. Okay, that's interesting. Because like on the way to dialysis, going through Kennett, yeah, I found out like, oh yeah, Kennett is a red city, and Carruthersville kind of is too. And I say one of the scariest, and I don't know if scary is the right terminology, but one of the like the most like sad and like genuinely, how in the fuck did I miss that? How? One of the saddest things I've seen. It was it's a like on like right when you get into Kennett, there's a yard sign that says like Trump 2024, take America back. And my question is always, from who, motherfucker? Who has America? The president is an old white man. How much? What the fuck is it that you think you currently don't have? Like, you got the country.
What freedom has been taken away from you?
Oh my God, for real. Like, what is it that you are? Because I asked that. I forget where I asked that, but at least I think I just thought it. I didn't ask it anywhere. But the question was like, what is it that you want to do that you are currently not allowed to do, that doesn't infringe upon someone else's rights to be alive?
Because I was going to say, like, the only thing I ever hear is like, well, people are doing this and this, and I don't like that. It's like, okay, then don't do that thing. Just ignore those people.
Because, like, my uncle, who is a devout Christian, who's a fucking pastor, is like, yeah, like, I asked him, like, between the two candidates, who does he think is more qualified for the job? Then asked him who he liked. They didn't care who he liked. The question was, who do you think is more qualified? And his answer was like, oh yeah, it goes without saying that Kamala is way more qualified. This is what she does. And he was like, yeah, that's who he's gonna vote for. Like, Donald Trump just genuinely doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, where'd you guys come from? Oh, I failed.
Too bad.
I gotta do all of that all the way over here. When did that happen?
It's also very perplexing anytime anyone of any skin color that isn't Caucasian,
It was like,
and
I'm
anyone
voting
who's,
Trump.
not a man, like unless you're man and white, why are you voting for Trump? I'd really like to know.
Oh, I found out. So
Uh,
when it comes to Hispanics, yeah, it turns out most Hispanics, like not necessarily Hispanics, but like other immigrants to America don't want other immigrants in America.
I mean, that makes sense to a certain extent, I do suppose.
I don't know what that would be, but okay.
Because I guess in their head it's like the same way that white people were like they took our jobs, they also are like they're gonna take our jobs.
Possibly. I really can't say, but I think Gabriel explained it. He said a lot of it comes down to like just the way they view other races where they're from. And I was just like, okay. I was like, I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have assumed. Like, I would not have assumed they were, like that. Like, why would I? But like, as far as black people go, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if a good chunk of black people are actually willing to support Trump. Like, I don't know if that's really what it is, or if it's like because we live in a world where you do it for the meme, that they are just willing to say they would support Trump, go to these rallies. All right, well then, fuck off. They're willing to go to these rallies and stuff just for the video. And it seems like most of the time when like a black person is willing to vote for Trump, it's an older black person.
Yeah.
And I just think that it really comes down to them being. It's a touch of racism. Like, people think that black people can't be racist. If you think that, you're stupid. Where's the 1-up mushroom then? I didn't find it. I'm pretty I don't know what mushroom is. I can tell y'all that right now. I don't know where it's at. Oh. Do you know what 1-up mushroom is? Have you been keeping up? That's one of those ones where I can say, yeah, I found it, but that was frustrating. Like, I would have been mad if I had to look that up and find out where that was. Yeah, that would have drove me crazy. It's like, you're not supposed to tell people who to vote for. I think that it would be in most people's benefits to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, simply because the majority of people in this country are not rich. Rich people do not need help. Elon Musk can go fuck himself. He can fuck himself to death. Like,
this is the blue toad.
What? I did that. Did it not count because I died?
But yeah, I will be completely fair. I think more celebrities should encourage their fans to go vote. And I don't mean the way that Elon is. Just encourage people to vote. Show them who you support don't suggest who they should like go vote for.
But you should go
Just
vote.
tell them to go vote.
Yeah, because Adult Swim is really doing is pushing that real hard. They obviously aren't telling people who to vote for, but they are pushing real hard for people to get out and vote. Like I don't know, like the guy who plays the voice of Carl in Aqua Teen Hunger Stank. Yeah, he's they're using him in the the bumpers to get people to go out and vote. And yeah, it's and I think that it is really oh my gosh, this is the end of the episode. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna move on with the episode. Oh, why did I do this? I made life hard for myself. Okay, cool. Go up, you whore! Oh, that was not so complicated. So Glenn Jacobs and Mark Calloway. Do you know who those men are?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Yeah.
You know who Mark Calloway is?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild to me. They both endorsed Donald Jerome Trump. They made a little video, and they said go out and vote for Donald Trump. They sat next to him on the couch. For those who don't know, it's Kane and Undertaker from WWE.
Yeah, I was gonna say
and they had him on Undertaker's podcast, the 6 Feet Under podcast, where Donald Trump asked Undertaker, "Does wrestling hurt?"
Does wrestling hurt?
It doesn't hurt Donald Trump because he don't fucking wrestle. And so for a lot of people, we were like, "Oh, this sucks. This makes us feel bad. We don't like this." But Mick Foley, aka Dude Love, aka Mankind, aka Cactus Jack, and Kevin Nash, aka Big Sexy, aka Super Shredder, aka Diesel, they put out a campaign, and it's called Bad Dudes for Harris. And Mick Foley has he acknowledged that he had been relatively quiet.
Oh wait, I know what you're talking about now because I remember Mick Foley talking about it.
Yeah, he's Mick Foley. I think he's acknowledging the rhetoric that Donald Trump is spewing. I also want to point out that a lot of Trump supporters have learned the word rhetoric. A lot of them have learned the word rhetoric. It's the first time they've ever heard it, and they're just using it over and over again. So when you open, because I got into some kind of conversation with somebody on, I think it was either Twitter. I think it was on Twitter. And basically, somebody was saying something negative. And I think it was pretty much just to spite Harris and Walt. But it very much would have affected Trump, given that he has criminal charges. And I said, I get the feeling that this doesn't go for the guy you support. Or whatever. And they was like, well, what crimes has he ever committed? And I was like, are we just ignoring the insurrection? What insurrection? Stop repeating rhetoric that doesn't mean anything. It's did
he
anybody...
also was harboring secret documents that shouldn't have left the White House?
Yeah, but the idea you said, did anybody get charged for insurrection? Did they? Because if not, then maybe stop saying that. I was motherfuckers did go to jail for that. Fuck are you talking about?
Several of them then.
Multiple people were listed as terrorists of the United States of America. Day of, motherfucker. And so it was at that point, he's stop spouting the negative rhetoric. And I was okay, so they've learned new words. That's wild. Because Donald Trump can't read. So I think his fan base not being able to read is kind of interesting. So when they learn new words, they want to use them, even if they don't know how to fucking use them. And so yeah, that's just, we're fighting a level of stupid, which is I bowed out in the argument because I was you got this. I can't fight that. If somebody's willing to ignore facts and history, then what the fuck am I supposed to say? You won this argument. That's it. Ain't nothing else to say. And I feel that's what it is when it comes to Trump supporters. They're so fucking stupid that you can't fight it. Because
Yeah,
again,
because literally anything that comes out of his mouth, that Daddy Trump, like
yeah,
Daddy Trump said
that's fact. The fact that motherfucker took y'all out into the desert, let y'all like several of y'all had a heat stroke. He made fun of it, and then left y'all in the fucking desert. Nah, that ain't enough to be like, wow, this motherfucker cannot be trusted. You're idiots. Like that's just they're all dumb. They're dumb. Like these are the women who get beat by their husband and make excuses. These are the men who cheat on their wives, get some girl pregnant, and want her to have an abortion, but stand firm against abortion. But you ain't finna take care of that baby though. No, that ain't happening. Like they're all pieces of shit. They're all terrible people who hate anyone who is different from them. They are good at being the victim. They're great at being the fucking victim. It's almost 30 minutes. Like, I'm sorry. We got to go. No more love. Peace and love. And peace and love, baby.